Hello students, this video is going to go through a real life example of taking some instructions, or in what we talk about in our class, an algorithm, and using Visio to show it visually as a flowchart. And this is going to be very similar to one of the tasks that you will do in class. You may have already done it, or you might be seeing this beforehand, but it's taking those set of instructions and again visually showing it with the Visio program. On the right here I have my simple set of instructions, or my simple algorithm, written out in plain English. It's supposed to be representing the process you might go through to take a bus trip basically. So it starts with getting on the bus, tapping on your my key. It then asks a question about if there is a seat that you're going to sit down, otherwise you're going to stand and hold on. You're going to watch out for your stop. When it is your stop, you're going to press the button, tap off your my key, and then get off the bus. So a fairly simple set of instructions. We're not making you write down every tiny thing like, bend your knees and put your bottom on the chair and be ridiculous like that. It's just a set of instructions that a person should really be able to follow, just enough to do this task. So let's look at how we would do this in Visio as a flowchart. So we know we need to start with a start ellipse. The start ellipse, we'll just bring it in, and I'm going to shrink it down a bit because it's usually a bit too big, and I'm just going to call it start. Again, it's not an actual step of our flowchart, of our algorithm. It is literally something that you can clearly see and say that is the start. So let's do that. And I might just actually put it over here. The first thing is to get on the bus. It is a simple action. So we are going to use a rectangle to represent a process, something that needs to be done. And let's simply click on that and say get on the bus. We can use the same wording from our process or our algorithm if we like. And let's immediately join those two together with anchor points, and I might just line that up a bit better so it's nice and straight. It's always important to present your work well. The next thing is to tap on your my key. So that is again just another process. So let's bring in another process. I'm going to try and line them up using the guides. I'm just going to quickly link it and put the text in. Tap on what I say with my key. I should really just copy and paste, but anyway, I haven't. Okay, tap on with my key. Then we have this thing that says if. And whenever you hear or see the word if, you know it's a question. You are asking whether something happens or doesn't happen. There could be more than two options for that question, but there's going to be at least two possibilities, a true or a false, a yes or a no, something happened, something didn't. So this one says, if there is a seat, sit down. So our question, hence a diamond, is going to ask two things. And I'm just going to put it over here for the moment. My question really says, is there a seat? And I'll put a question mark. So is there a seat is the question. So let's bring across here because I'm flowing through this process to here. Option 1 is yes, option 2 is no, let's say. So if we just follow one path at a time, I'm going to follow to the yes. So let's join this across and let's label that particular flow with yes. So double clicking on the line and getting the option to type yes in there. What happens if there is a seat? Well, we sit down. So we simply put a process of sit down. An alternative option is no. So let's maybe put a new process down here. Let's join that together. Oops, I missed that. There we go. And again, let's double click on the line to label that line as the no option. Again, you might want to label them differently. It might say, yes, there is a seat. No, there's not. But a simple yes, no will suffice in this case. So if there's not a seat, we need to stand and hold on. So there we go. We've got our two possibilities. Is there a seat? Yes. No, there's not a seat. We're going to stand and hold on. We then come back together. We are going to keep watching out for our stop. So it doesn't matter whether we are seated at this point or standing. The next thing we are doing is looking out for our stop. So we are going to possibly use another process, and both of these might come in here because it doesn't matter if we're sitting or standing, we're going to look out for our stop. Okay, when it is your stop, we move on for that. We are going to do another process, which is tap off. Tap off the my key. Oops, I missed a T. And I always struggle to spell or type that. I always get it backwards. There we go. Tap off the my key. Oh, I just saw the T there. Okay, so that's the next thing we do. And then our second to last, well, actually our last process, our last step is to get off the bus. All right, so we'll have get off the bus. Okay, I'm struggling with my typing. I do apologize. Again, I probably should just be learning to copy and paste and save myself that hassle, but I didn't. So there we go. And then the last thing is we need to have an end. So again, in fact, I won't do that. Like I've done in previous videos, copy and paste that just to keep the sizing the same. And I'm going to bring it over here, change the text to say end, and join it across. Let's neaten it up. Okay. So there we have potentially a flowchart that we believe represents this process. We start over here. We first of all get on the bus. We tap on our my key. Then we ask ourselves a question. Is there a seat? If there is a seat, we're going to go this way and sit down. If there's not a seat, we're going to go this way and stand up. Either way, we then get to here of saying look out for your stop. Then when it is your stop, tap off the my key, get off the bus, and there is our end to make sure that we haven't missed something, that we are in fact at the end of our process. So that would be considered at this point of your learning anyway, a satisfactory flowchart for this particular task. I would strongly encourage you to still do a few more things for presentation. I would love to see it being labeled, so maybe use a normal text box to put up here, maybe put your name, maybe again, I'm really struggling to type, I do apologize. Maybe put the task or what the heading is, so it's maybe called riding the bus. Okay, definitely want to maybe do some formatting of fonts to make this look more appropriate. Maybe put your class code, things like that. So make your piece of work still highly presentable before you hand it in. And of course, if it's appropriate, you might like to color your boxes. So again, you might decide to make your questions all be, I don't know, yellow, for example. Probably not yellow because that's really hard to read. Let's try, I don't know, orange. Cool. And if I'm going to do that, probably do need to do a better color text. So let's change that to be black text. Again, you don't have to, but you might decide to do something like that. But definitely make sure that your work is well formatted. Now, there is one more thing I might actually do to this one. I'm not going to do it in this video, but I want you to maybe think about this step here, this look out for our stop. There's probably a better way to show this, because really, if you think about that, you're constantly asking yourself, is it my stop? Is it my stop? Yes and no, yes and no. Eventually you get to, is it my stop? Yes. And that's when you move on and do this. It's what we would call a loop. And that's maybe something that you can try and work out how you would show that here in Visio, so that you can do that a little bit better. So I'm going to leave that here. And then, yeah, if you can't work out how to do that loop, maybe that's something that you'll learn about in class shortly. As I'm making this video, I'm already thinking, yes, that we will.